listener, come settle into this moment. Just as you are, the world outside can wait, soft and patient, while you find the place where your body feels most at home. Perhaps you nestle beneath a blanket that holds the faint scent of lavender from the drawer, or you rest upon pillows that cradle your head like gentle hands. Wherever you are, let the surface beneath you receive your weight. Let it hold you. Let it be enough. Breathe with me now. Draw the air in, slow and kind, as though the night itself is pouring into your lungs. And then release. Let the breath drift away, carrying with it the small knots of the day. Again, in a quiet filling, and out a quiet emptying. Each breath a little softer than the one before. Feel your forehead now, the place where thoughts sometimes gather. Let the skin there smooth, the tiny lines easing open like petals at dusk. Shoulders, heavy with the hours, begin to loosen, to sink, to rest. Arms grow long and languid, palms open, fingers unfurling like fern fronds in moonlight. The chest rises and falls in its own gentle tide, the heart beneath beating steady, unhurried. The belly softens, warm and quiet, a small hearth glowing within. Hips settle deeper into the cushion or mattress, legs lengthening, knees releasing, ankles loosening, feet resting as though placed upon cool moss. Another breath in and out. The body is learning the language of ease. And now, in this cradle of quiet, a scene begins to gather around you. The way mist gathers over a sleeping lake. Outside, rain arrives in the gentlest way, tapping on rooftops and windows with fingers made of velvet. Each drop carries the scent of wet stone and distant gardens, drifting through a crack in the pane. Somewhere nearby, coffee beans release their dark, nutty perfume, curling like smoke through the air. And beneath it all, a tender vibration, purring, threads through the stillness. A low, continuous note that feels like the earth humming to itself. The sounds and scents weave together, soft as cashmere, wrapping around your senses. The rain keeps its patient rhythm, never hurried, never loud. The coffee aroma lingers, warm and familiar. The purrs rise and fall, a lullaby older than words. You are safe here, held in the hush between heartbeats. In the pause after the exhale, nothing is asked of you. Nothing is needed. Breathe once more, in and out. Let the body sink a little deeper, the mind drift a little further. The cafe is waiting, tucked in its mossy alley, its windows glowing like small moons. But for now, simply rest in this opening quiet, this gentle cradle of sound and scent and softening breath. The story will unfold when you are ready, when every part of you has remembered how to be still. The rain keeps its tender rhythm, a whisper against the window pane, as the scene settles around you like a well-worn quilt. Somewhere in the soft folds of evening, she moves through the world, a quiet figure wrapped in a coat the color of storm clouds. Her name is not spoken aloud, for names feel too sharp in this gentle place. She is simply she, a soul who gathers stillness the way others gather flowers. Her footsteps fall light on the cobblestones, muffled by the mist that rises from the warming earth. Each step carries her further from the clamor of streets and screens, closer to the hush she seeks. The alley appears almost by accident, tucked between two taller buildings that lean together like old friends sharing secrets. Moss clings to the bricks in velvety patches, glowing faintly under the street lamp's amber breath. A wooden sign hangs above a narrow door, its paint chipped in places, revealing layers of cream and sage beneath. The words, "The Vintage Cat Cafe," are carved in curling letters, worn smooth by years of rain and gentle fingers tracing them. A small bell above the door gives a single, sleepy chime as she pushes it open, the sound drifting into the night like a sigh. Inside, the air folds around her, warm and fragrant, scented with roasted beans and the faint sweetness of milk left to steams. Golden light spills from lamps with fringed shades, pooling on the wooden floor in soft, liquid circles. Shelves line the walls, filled with books whose spines have softened with age, novels with cracked leather, poetry collections with pages like butterfly wings. A gramophone in the corner turns slowly, releasing a melody that feels like moonlight made audible. All brushed cymbals and languid saxophone. The notes curl through the room, touching everything with a hush of nostalgia. Cats are everywhere, but never hurried. One sleeps atop a stack of encyclopedias, tail draped like a silk scarf. Another stretches across a windowsill, paws tucked neatly beneath its chest, eyes half closed in blissful surrender. A third lounges on a velvet cushion the color of dried roses, chin resting on its paws, dreaming whatever dreams cats dream. Their fur catches the lamplight, cream, charcoal, ginger, patches of white like spilled milk. Every so often, a tail flicks, slow as a metronome set to adagio. She pauses just inside the door, letting the warmth seep through her coat, through her skin, into the small aches the day has left behind. Her shoulders, which had carried the weight of hurried hours, begin to descend. The weariness is not heavy, only a soft veil, like dusk settling over a meadow. Beneath it lies a longing, not urgent, not sharp, but tender, the wish to be held by something quieter than thought. She slips the coat from her arms, folding it over a chair back with the care of someone laying a child to bed. Her sweater is the color of oatmeal, soft against her wrists, and she pushes the sleeves up slowly, revealing skin that drinks in the room's gentle heat. The cafe owner, a woman with silver hair twisted into a loose knot, looks up from behind the counter. Her eyes are the pale blue of forget-me-nots, crinkled at the corners with smiles accumulated over decades. Evening. Love, she murmurs, voice like warm honey poured over river stones. The window seat's free, if you'd like it. Rain's prettier from there. She nods, his small movement. Grateful. Thank you. She answers, the words barely more than breath. The owner's smile deepens, and she turns back to the hiss of the espresso machine. Unhurried, the floorboards creak softly beneath her steps, a sound like old friends greeting one another after years apart. She chooses the table by the window, its surface scarred with rings from countless cups, each mark a memory of someone who once sat here seeking solace. A single candle flickers in a glass holder, its flame trembling like a heartbeat. Outside, the rain traces silver paths down the glass, blurring the world into watercolor strokes of gray and indigo. Inside, the reflections of lamps and cats and books shimmer on the wet pane, a quiet kaleidoscope. She lowers herself into the chair, the cushion sighing beneath her. The wood is warm from the day's lingering heat, cradling her spine. For a moment, she simply sits, hands resting palms up on her thighs, fingers unclenching. The weariness settles into the chair with her, no longer a burden, but a companion, soft as the cats that begin to notice her presence. One, a small tabby with a white bib, lifts its head from a nearby armchair, ears twitching. Its eyes, green as new leaves after rain, regard her with the unhurried curiosity of a creature who has never known haste. The owner approaches, slippers whispering across the floor. Latte, extra foam, she asks, already knowing. She nods again, lips curving in the faintest smile, and maybe a little cinnamon on tops. The owner adds, voice lilting like a lullaby. Yes, please. The words are small, but they carry warmth, like pebbles warmed by sun and slipped into a pocket. The owner retreats, and the gramophone shifts to a new record, the needle settling into the groove with a soft scratch that feels like the turning of a page. She turns her gaze to the window. The rain has thickened, falling in steady, silken strands. Each drop catches the light for a heartbeat before sliding away, leaving a trail like tears on a loved one's cheek. Only these are gentle, healing. Beyond the glass, the alley's bricks glisten, moss glowing like tiny emerald galaxies. A single lantern sways on its hook, casting a pool of gold that trembles with every breath of wind. The world feels paused, held in a tender suspension, as though time itself has curled up for a nap. Inside, the cats begin to stir, drawn by the quiet gravity of her presence. The tabby leaps soundlessly from the armchair, landing with the grace of a falling feather. It pads across the floor, paws making no sound on the worn rug, and pauses at her feet. She watches, breath slow, as it considers her knee, then leaps again, this time into her lap. The weight is slight, warm, alive. Its fur brushes her wrist, softer than dandelion fluff, and she feels the faint tremor of its purr beginnings, a vibration that travels through her bones like distant thunder that means no harm. The latte arrives, set down with the care of a ritual. Steam rises in delicate spirals, carrying the scent of toasted nuts and sweet milk. A dusting of cinnamon floats on the foams, forming tiny constellations. She wraps her hands around the cup, feeling the heat seep into her palms. Her fingers, her wrists. The first sip is slow, deliberate, a communion. The flavors bloom across her tongue, coffee's gentle bitterness, milk's creamy embrace, cinnamon's faint, lingering spice. She closes her eyes for a moment, letting the warmth pool in her chest, spreading outward like ripples in a pond. When she opens them again, the tabby has settled fully, curled into a crescent against her stomach. Its eyes are closed, whiskers twitching with dreams. She lifts one hand, hesitant, then lets her fingers rest between its ears. The fur is warm, sleek, threaded with the faint static of contentment. She strokes once, twice, matching the rhythm of its breathing, slow, steady, unhurried. The purr deepens, a sound that feels like the cafe itself is exhaling. Around her, the room continues its quiet symphony. Pages turns in a book someone reads in the corner, the sound like dry leaves skittering across pavement. The espresso machine hisses again, a distant dragon sighing in its sleep. Rain keeps its patient tattoo against the window. The cats breathe in unison, a tide of fur and warmth and trust. She feels herself sinking into the chair, into the moment, into the soft animal weight of the cat in her lap. The day's edges blur, colors softening the way watercolor does when the brush lifts away. Time loosens its grip. Minutes stretch, elastic and kind. She is no longer arriving. She is simply here. The latte cools slowly, steam thinning to a ghost. Her fingers move through the cat's fur in endless, gentle arcs. The jazz melody loops back to its beginning. Familiar now, like a path walked in dreams. Outside, the rain begins to ease, drops spacing themselves further apart, each one a note in a slowing lullaby. She leans her head against the chair's high back, the wood smooth against her hair. The candle flickers, casting shadows that dance like memories across the walls. The tabby shifts, pressing closer, its warmth a small sun against her belly. Her eyelids grow heavy, not with fatigue, but with the sweetness of surrender. The cafe holds her. The cats hold her. The rain holds her. Everything is soft. Everything is safe. Everything is slow. The latte cup rests half empty now. A small island of warmth between her palms. Steam no longer rises in eager spirals. Instead, it lingers close to the surface, a quiet veil that blurs the cinnamon stars. She lifts the cup again, the porcelain smooth against her lips, and takes another slow sip. The flavors have softened, mellowed, like a song played for the third time, familiar, comforting, no longer asking for attention. She sets the cup down with care, the faint clink swallowed instantly by the room's gentle hush. Outside, the rain has settled into a rhythm older than roofs or windows. Each drop lands with the patience of a storyteller who knows the tale will wait. The glass is cool beneath her forearm, where it rests on the sill, a pleasant contrast to the warmth pooling in her chest. She watches the water trace lazy rivers down the pane, merging, separating, merging again. The alley beyond is a watercolor left in the rain, moss bleeding into brick, lantern light dissolving into mist. Nothing moves out there. Everything moves in here, in the smallest, kindest ways. The calico cat, the one with patches like autumn leaves spilled across cream, has joined the tabby. It appeared without ceremony, materializing from beneath a nearby table as though the floor itself birthed it. Now it sits on the wide windowsill, tail curled neatly around its paws, staring out at the rain with the serene detachment of a philosopher. Every so often, its ear flicks, catching a note from the jazz record that has begun its third slow rotation. The saxophone weaves through the air, low and languid, brushing against her skin like a scarf made of sound. She reaches out, not thinking, simply feeling the pull of softness. Her fingers find the calico's shoulder, the fur there shorter, denser, warm as sun-baked stone. The cat leans into the touch, a subtle pressure, an unspoken yes. She traces the boundary where orange meets white, the place where colors blur like dawn meeting sea. The cat's eyes half close, slits of gold in the lamplight. A purr begins, different from the tabby's, higher, quicker, like water trickling over pebbles. The two purrs overlap, intertwine, creating a harmony that fills the small space between her heartbeats. Her gaze drifts upward, drawn by the black and white photographs lining the wall above the window. They are framed in wood, darkened by decades of hands and smoke and candlelight. In one, a woman in a cloche hat laughs silently, mouth open, eyes crinkled, a cat perched on her shoulder like a living brooch. In another, two children kneel on a rug, chins resting on folded arms, watching a kitten chase a dust mote in a shaft of sunlight. The images are soft at the edges, focus gentle, as though the camera itself was half asleep. She imagines the shutter clicking slow, the way her own breath moves now, unhurried, unnecessary to announce. Time feels porous here, leaking through the floorboards into the earth below. She could sit for hours, and the latte would never cool completely. The cats would never tire of touch. The rain would never stop its tender percussion. The thought brings no urgency, only a deep, honeyed acceptance. Her shoulders have forgotten how to hold tension. Her jaw has unclenched, lips parted just enough for breath to pass like a secret. A soft voice floats from behind the counter. Another sprinkle of cinnamon. Love. The owner stands there, rag in hand, polishing a glass that was already clean. Her apron is the color of faded lilacs, tied loosely around a waist that has known many quiet evenings. She smiles, the expression small but radiant, like moonlight on still water. She considers, then nods, a movement so slight it might be the candle's flicker. Yes, thank you. The owner approaches, unscrews the cinnamon shaker with the care of someone opening a music box. A fine dust falls, settling into the foam like snow on a meadow. The scent rises, warm, sweet, faintly sharp, a memory of kitchens and grandmothers and winter mornings. The calico shifts, stretching one paw to rest against the window. Its pads leave faint, misty prints that fade almost as quickly as they appears. She watches, mesmerized by the transience, the way the glass forgets the touch as gently as it receives it. Her own hand mirrors the motion, palm pressing flat against the cool pane. The chill seeps in, pleasant, grounding. For a moment, she is both inside and outside, held in the thin membrane between warmth and rain. The boundary feels kind, permeable, a promise that nothing is ever fully separated. The tabby in her lap stirs, resettling with a sigh that might be contentment or dreaming. Its weight has become part of her, the way a favorite blanket becomes part of the body beneath it. She resumes stroking, fingers moving in slow, even arcs from the base of its skull to the tip of its tail. Each pass leaves a trail of warmth, a path her hand knows without looking. The purr deepens, vibrates through her thighs, her belly, her ribs. It is a sound she feels more than hears, a tide that carries her further inland, away from the shores of thought. Somewhere in the room, a page turns. The sound is crisp yet soft, like frost forming on a window. She does not look to see who reads. The act of looking would require effort, and effort has dissolved like sugar in teas. Instead, she lets her eyes wander back to the photographs. In one, a man in suspenders dozes in an armchair, a cat sprawled across his chest, both mouths open in identical slumber. The image makes her smile, a small, inward curve of lips that feels like a secret shared with the wall. The jazz record reaches its final groove, the saxophone lingering on a note that refuses to end. Then silence, not empty, but full, the way a held breath is full. The gramophone arm lifts, returns to its cradle with a soft click. For a moment, the only sounds are rain, purrs, the faint tick of cooling porcelain. Then the owner hums, a melody without words. 3 notes repeating like a lullaby for the room itself. The calico's ears swivel toward the sound, then relax again. She lifts the latte once more, cradling it close to her heart. The cup is cooler now, but the warmth inside her has grown. A small sun kindled by touch and scent and stillness. She drinks, and the liquid slides down her throat like a promise kept. The cinnamon lingers on her tongue, a faint spark that fades into sweetness. She sets the cup down, empty now, and folds her hands in her lap, one atop the other, resting lightly on the tabby's back. The rain has thinned to a mist, the drops so fine they seem to float rather than fall. The window is a mirror now, reflecting the cafe's golden glow. The cat's, her own face softened by lamplight. She looks at herself and sees no lines of worry, no shadows of haste, only the gentle curve of cheek, the slow blink of eyes that have remembered how to rest. The calico turns its head, regards her with one slow blink, then returns to watching the mist. The gesture feels like a benediction. Her breathing has matched the cat's. In, out, in, out. A tide that needs no shore. Each inhale draws in the scents of coffee, cinnamon, damp wool, cat fur, old paper. Each exhale releases the day, particle by particle, until nothing remains but this moment, this chair, this warmth. The jazz record begins again, the same melody, but she does not mind the repetition. Repetition is a kind of love, a return, a promise that what was good will be good again. The tabby stretches, paws kneading gently against her thigh, claws sheathed, a motion older than language. She feels the pressure, soft, rhythmic, like a heartbeat borrowed from another creature. Her own heart answers, slow and steady, a drum muffled by blankets. The calico leaps down, soundless, and curls beneath the table, tail wrapped around its nose. Another cat, a sleek black one with eyes like midnight, takes its place on the sill, settling with the grace of ink spilled on silk. She leans her head back, the chair's cushion cradling her neck, The ceiling above is tin, pressed into patterns of vines and flowers, catching the light in tiny, glinting leaves. She traces the patterns with her eyes, following one vine as it curls around another. Endless, patient, the motion is meditative, a labyrinth with no center, no exit, only the pleasure of the path. Her eyelids flutter, not closing, simply resting at half-mast, the world reduced to slits of gold and shadow. The owner passes by, carrying a tray of empty cups, her slippers whispering secrets to the floor. She pauses, looks at the scene, woman, cats, rain, candle, and smiles the smile of someone who has seen this moment 1,000 times and never tires of it. Stay as long as you need, she murmurs, voice barely louder than the purrs. She nods, or thinks she does. The boundary between thought and motion has grown soft. The owner moves on, humming again, the melody weaving through the room like a ribbon. The latte cup sits empty, a small porcelain moon on the table. She does not move to refill it. Fullness has many forms, and this one is complete. The cats breathe. The rain breathes. The cafe breathes. She breathes with them. Part of the quiet chorus. No longer separate. No longer striving. The photographs watch. Benevolent ancestors of this moment. The books wait. Patient as sleeping cats. The candle burns lower, its flame a steady heartbeat in glass. The chair has become a cradle, the wood warmed through by her presence, the cushion shaped to the curve of her spine, as though it has always known her. She leans back, slowly, the motion fluid as milk poured into a bowl. The tabby in her lap shifts only enough to settle deeper, its weight a gentle anchor, a living hot water bottle that breathes. Warmth rises from the small body, seeping through her sweater, through skin, through bone, until it meets the warmth from the latte still glowing in her center. The two warmths mingle, indistinguishable, a single quiet hearth. Her hands rest now, one on the cat's back, the other open on her thigh, palm up, fingers loose. The air moves across her skin in the softest currents, stirred by the slow turning of the ceiling fan far above. Each blade passes with a whisper, a lullaby made of motion. The candle on the table has burned lower, its flame smaller, steadier, a golden teardrop suspended in glass. The light it gives is intimate, reaching only the small circle of table and chair and cats, leaving the rest of the room in kindly shadow. The black cat on the windowsill has curled into a comma, nose tucked beneath its tail. Its breathing is so slight, it might be the flicker of the candle itself. Outside, the mist has thickened, swallowing the alley, the lantern, the bricks. The window is a soft gray mirror now, reflecting only the cafe's glow and the faint outline of her own face, blurred at the edges like a memory half remembered. Rain no longer falls in drops, it floats, suspended, a veil between worlds. The glass is cool, almost cold, but the contrast only deepens the warmth within her, the way a cool breeze deepens the pleasure of a sun-warmed stone. She closes her eyes, not to sleep, but to listen. The sounds arrive one by one, gentle visitors. The tabbies purr, steady as a tide. The faint creak of the building settling, like an old house exhaling. The hush of the owner moving behind the counter. Cups placed with the care of someone laying out tarot cards. The soft scratch of the gramophone needle, lifted and returned. The same record beginning again. The saxophone entering on a breath that feels like her own. Each sound is distinct, yet woven. A tapestry of quiet that needs no center. Her breath slows to match the room's rhythm. And the sense of coffee and cinnamon and cat fur fill her out. The day's small worries drift away, lighter than dandelion seeds. And warmth pools in her belly, spreads to her chest, her throat, the soles of her feet, out. Her shoulders sink another fraction, the last knot untying itself. The breath is no longer hers alone, it belongs to the cats. The rain, the candle, the old wooden floor. She is part of the breathing now, a single note in a chord that has always existed. The calico has returned, slipping from beneath the table to curl against her ankle. Its fur brushes her skin through the thin fabric of her sock, a tickle that becomes a caress. She feels the vibration of its purr travel up her leg, meeting the tabby's purr in her laps, creating a small symphony inside her bones. The black cat on the sill stretches, one paw extending, then relaxes again, surrendering to the hush. 3 cats, 3 purrs, 3 small engines of peace. Their warmth radiates, a quiet constellation around her chair. She opens her eyes, just enough to see the candle's flame. It dances, slow and hypnotic, painting the air with gold. The light catches on the rim of the empty latte cup, turning porcelain into amber. A single droplet of condensation clings to the inside, trembling, then falls, soundless. The table's wood grain swirls beneath her gaze, rivers and eddies frozen in oak. She traces them with her eyes, following one curls as it loops and widens, a labyrinth that leads nowhere and everywhere. The motion is effortless, a drifting, a dreaming with eyes open. Her head rests fully against the chair now, neck long, throat open. The cushion cradles the base of her skull, soft as a cloud. She feels the pulse in her temples, slow, steady, matching the purrs. The blood moves through her veins like warm honey, thick with calm. Every cell seems to sigh, to settle, to remember its place in the quiet whole. The weariness she carried through the door is gone, not banished, but transformed, melted into the chair. The cats, the candlelight. What remains is lightness, a buoyancy that does not lift her, but holds her, suspended in gentleness. The owner passes again, slower this time, her shadow stretching long across the floor. She pauses, looks at the tableau, woman, cats, empty cup, flickering flame, and her smile is the smile of a gardener who finds the roses have opened while she wasn't looking. Whenever you're ready, love, she whispers, the words barely disturbing the air. There is no hurry in them, no expectation. She does not answer aloud. The nod is internal, a softening of the heart. The owner moves on, humming the same three notes, a thread that ties the evening together. The jazz saxophone lingers on a low note, holds it, lets it fade into the purrs. The room feels smaller now, not cramped but intimate, a cocoon woven of light and sound and warmth. The books on the shelves seem to lean inward, listening. The photographs watch with benevolent stillness, their subjects asleep in their frames. Even the rain has hushed, the mist outside a silent companion. The world beyond the window has dissolved into gray velvet. The world within is gold and breathing. She shifts, just enough to feel the chair adjust. The cats adjust, the warmth adjust. The tabby's head rests heavier against her stomach, its ears twitching in dreams. The calico's tail flicks once, then stills, wrapped around her ankle like a bracelet. The black cat sighs, a sound like silk sliding over silk. Her own breath matches theirs, deep, slow, complete. The inhale fills her ribs, lifts her slightly. Then the exhale lowers her deeper into the chair, deeper into the moment. The candle gutters, a brief flicker, then steadies. The flame is smaller now, a heartbeat in miniature. Its light touches her hands. The cat's fur, the curve of the cup, shadows pool in the corners. Soft as velvet, she feels the boundaries of her body blur, not disappearing but expanding until she is the chair, the cat's, the warmth, the hush. There is no edge where she ends and the cafe begins. The thought brings no wonder, only acceptance, the way one accepts the color of one's own eyes. Her eyelids drift lower, they whirled reduced to slits of gold. The purrs are inside her now, vibrating in her chest, her throat, her wrists. The rain is inside her, a gentle percussion against the roof of her skull. The candle is inside her, a small sun behind her ribs. She is filled, not with effort, but with ease, the way a sponge fills with warm water. Every breath is a gift, received and returned. Every sound is a lullaby. Every touch is a promise kept. The owner dims the lamps, one by one, the room growing softer, deeper, kinder. The golden pools shrink. Marriages become a single glow around the table. The gramophone slows, the saxophone stretching its final note until it dissolves into silence. The silence is not empty, it is full of breathing, of purrs, of the faint scent of cinnamon still lingering in the air. She feels the darkness settle around her like a blanket, heavy with comfort. The cats do not stir. The candle does not flicker. The rain does not fall. Everything is held, suspended, perfect. Her head lolls gently to one side, cheek against the cushion. The tabby adjusts, pressing closer, its warmth a small planet orbiting her heart. The calico's purr travels up her leg, a river of sound. The black cat's tail uncurls, then curls again, a slow metronome. She is aware of her body only as warmth, as softness, as breath. The day is a distant shore, receding. The night is a wide, welcoming sea. The cafe has folded itself into a smaller, softer shape, the way a cat folds into a sunbeam. The lamps are only embers now, their glow a faint heartbeat. in the dusk of the room. The candle on the table has surrendered its last light. A thin ribbon of smoke rises, carrying the scent of melted wax and distant vanilla. The smoke curls once, twice, then dissolves into the warm air, leaving only the memory of flame. The darkness is not heavy, it is velvet. It is down. It is the inside of a seashell held to the ear. Everything breathes together. The woman, the cats, the old wooden floor, the rain that has become a whisper against the roof. She sits still, the chair cradling her as though it were made for this moment alone. The tabby sleeps fully now, its small chest rising and falling against her belly, a tide that never hurries. The calico has climbed higher, curling against her ribs, its warmth seeping through wool and skin to the quiet drum beneath. The black cat remains on the sill, a silhouette against the misty window, tail wrapped like a question mark that needs no answer. Their purrs have merged into a single low note, a chord that vibrates in her bones, in the hollow of her throat, in the soles of her feet, resting on the worn rugs. Her eyes are closed, not tightly, not with effort, but gently, the way petals close at twilight. Behind the lids, colors drift, the amber of old lamplight, the cream of latte foam, the moss green of the alley bricks. The colors swirl, slow as cream in coffee, blending into a soft, formless glow. There is no need to name them, no need to hold them. They come, they go, they leave warmth behind. The rain has thinned to the memory of rain, a faint hush on the roof, like someone turning pages in a book made of water. Each sound is rounded, muffled, kind. The gramophone stands silent, its needle resting, the record still spinning slowly, slowly, until it stops with a sigh. The owner has retreated, her footsteps long gone, yet her presence lingers in the faint scent of lilac and the knowledge that the door remains unlocked for those who need refuge. The cafe is a cradle, it looms, a lullaby sung in wood and wool and fur. Her breath is the room's breath now. In the scents settle deeper, coffee grounds sleeping in their bin, cinnamon dust on the counter, the faint musk of cat fur warmed by bodies. Out, the last threads of the day unravel, drifting away like feathers on a quiet stream. In warmth pools in her center, spreads outward in lazy circles, reaching fingertips, earlobes, the arches of her feet, her body grows heavier, not with fatigue, but with surrender. The sweet weight of trust. Each exhale is longer than the one before. Each inhale softer, until the space between them is filled only with purrs. The tabby shifts in its sleep, a small adjustment, a dream of chasing shadows. Its paw rests against her wrist, pads warm, claws sheathed, a gentle reminder that she is held. The calico's tail flicks once against her side, then stills, a metronome winding down. The black cat's silhouette blurs as the mist thickens outside, until it is only a suggestion of cat, a breath of night. She feels their weight, their warmth, their trust, and something inside her chest opens like a flower in moonlight. There is no name for the feeling, only the sense of being received, of being enough exactly as she is. Her head rests fully against the chair's high back, neck long, throat open to the dark. The cushion cradles her skull, soft as a cloud, warm as a nest. Her arms lie loose at her sides, palms up, fingers curled just enough to hold nothing. The sweater has slipped from one shoulder, revealing skin that drinks in the room's gentle heat. She does not move to adjust it. Movement belongs to another times, another life. Here, there is only settling, only sinking, only the slow, sweet drift. The purrs are inside her now, a vibration that begins in her sternum and radiates outward. A stone dropped in still water. The ripples reach her temples, her knees, the tips of her toes. Each ripple carries a memory, not sharp, not vivid, but soft as old photographs. The scent of her grandmother's kitchen, the feel of a childhood blanket, the sound of her mother humming while folding laundry. The memories do not demand attention. They simply pass through, leaving warmth behind like sunlight through leaves. Her breathing deepens, slows, becomes the tide itself. In the cafe fills her lungs with its quiet gifts. Out. She releases the last small tension in her jaw, her brows, the place between her shoulder blades. In the cat's warmth becomes her warmth. Out. The boundary between her skin and the air dissolves. There is no inside, no outside, only the gentle pulse of being. The thought arrives without words, a knowing as soft as breath. I am here. I am held. I am home. The room has grown darker, the lamps reduced to the faintest embers. the candle long gone, yet there is light inside her eyelids, inside her chest, a glow that needs no source. The mist outside has swallowed the world. The window is only a soft gray rectangle, a frame for nothing and everything. The cat breathes. The cafe breathes. She breathes. The sounds weave together, a lullaby older than language, older than thought. Her body is heavy now, deliciously heavy, the way river stones are heavy after years of water's caress. The chair receives her weight. The cats receive her warmth. The night receives her surrender. There is no effort in the sinking, only allowance, only trust. Her heartbeat slows, a drum muffled by blankets, by fur, by the hush of rain that is no longer rain but memory. Each beat says the same gentle word: rest, rest, rest. The purrs fade, not into silence, but into something deeper, a vibration felt rather than heard. The calico's tail uncurls, brushes her ribs, then stills. The tabby's head grows heavier, its breath a warm puff against her stomach. The black cat is only a shadow now, a suggestion of curve and gleam. She feels them all, part of the same quiet organism, the same slow dream. There is no separation, no need for names or roles or stories. There is only this warmth, breath, the soft dark. And now, as you breathe slowly, let this calmness fill your heart. Let it spill into your arms, your legs, the crown of your head. Let the purrs carry you, the way a boat is carried by a gentle current. Let the mist outside become the mist inside your thoughts. Soft, weightless, kind. Let the chair become your bed. The cats become your blanket. The cafe become your dream. Let every exhale take you deeper, deeper into the wide, welcoming dark. Let every inhale bring you the scent of coffee and cinnamon and rain-soaked moss. Let your body rest, heavy and light at once, held by the night, held by the hush, and drift softly, softly into a peaceful sleep.